Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary Stroop Family Foundation, Panama-BUENA VISTA Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, Kern High School District, and AC Electric Company, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Today we're at Mojave Elementary, home of the Colts, and we're here to
Do the math!
Well, today we're at Mojave Elementary, and we've got some 5th and 6th grade, well, 4th and 5th grade students today, right? All right, you guys ready to do a little math?
Yeah.
All right, so integers. Do you guys know what integers are? Like, how would you describe them, or what are they? Or have you ever seen them, or have ever heard of them? Never heard of them? You guys are in 4th and 5th grade. I'm sure you've heard of integers, you may just not realize it. All right, so let's take a look at, what do you think it is?
Isn't it just like number lines?
They're just numbers, right? But instead of just, because we all know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
Yeah.
They're just regular positive numbers, all right? If we have -1, -2, -3, -4, those are negative numbers. But all of those numbers together, just positive numbers and negative numbers, are all integers. All right, so take a look at the number line that you guys have the first, right? So it says integer number lines. So where does the number line start?
It starts at -15.
-15, and how high does it go up to?
+15.
Positive 15, all right? So what's right in the middle?
The zero.
The 0, okay? So if you take a look at the 0 and you move to the right, are those positive or negative numbers?
Positive.
Positive numbers. You're positive about that?
Yeah.
All right, you got it. Okay, so you're positive that those are positive. If you move to the left, those are what?
Negative.
Negative numbers, right? So as we said earlier, all negative and positive numbers, whole numbers like that, these are going to be integers. All right? So on your paper, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to find 4 and put a circle around where you think the number 4 would be. Right, you've got it, right? Everybody's got, it's 1 away from number 5, right?
Yeah.
Pretty easy, okay? Now find -7. So -7. All right, so we've got a couple of different marks, all right? So let's take a look. We know that here we've got 0, right? And if we go back to here, that's -5. So the one after that is going to be -6 and then -7. All right, so do you guys see where you're at? Okay. How many numbers are on this number line all together? Say it if you know it. How many numbers are on that number line?
7? Oh, do we have to like add it or?
Well, look, if we start here, right, -15, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
32.
30, right? The actual dots, right, if you count those at the end, right, you're going to have 32 of them, right? Okay. If you're at 0 and you go -15 and +15, now remember, 0 is also going to count, right? So a lot of people forget that that actually counts as a number, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to order them. You guys know what greater than, less than, and equal is? Right? So you guys know the symbols that are used for those? Okay. So let's take a look at the first one. We have 2 and 2. Now is 2 greater than, less than, or equal to 2?
Equal.
It's equal, right? So what symbol do you put in there? An equal sign, right? So up at the top you have the 3 symbols. Okay, what's that first symbol for?
Less or greater than?
Okay, so take a look at it. We would say that 2 is less than something. Okay, and then the other one is greater than. All right, so let's go to the very next one. -8. Is -8 equal to 8? No, it's not equal to 8, is it? Right? One's on the negative side and one's on the positive side. So which is larger, 8 or -8? 8, right? So we need to put the symbol so that it says that 8 is larger than -8. So do you guys know which one that is?
Yes.
Right? So the way you would read it is you would say -8 is less than 8. All right? So we'll do a few more of these, doing some integers, negative and positive numbers with the 4th and 5th grade students at Mojave Elementary. All right, once again, we're at Mojave Elementary, and we have some 4th and 5th grade students working on integers, right? So once again, what are integers?
Integers are negative and positive numbers.
Negative and positive numbers, right? So we learned a little bit about where to find them on a number line, right? And then we also did some ordering, where we found out if one was greater than or less than, or possibly sometimes equal to the other number. Now we're going to put them in order, all right? And we're going to take positive and negative numbers and put them on a number line to see where they fit, okay? So let's take a look at the first set. So the first set, what does the number line start with?
7. Positive 7.
Well, let's take a look at the number line underneath it first. What does it start with?
Negative
It starts-
12.
Negative 12.
12.
And what does it go up to?
Positive 12.
Positive 12. So we know all the numbers are going to be within positive 12 and negative 12. So the first one, 7. So go ahead and circle where 7 would be. Easy enough, right? Everybody's got positive 7?
Yep.
Okay. What about the next one? What number is that?
10.
10. All right. So go ahead and finish up that first set. Let's go down to the very bottom one. Now there are more numbers there, but what are they all going to be between?
They're going to be all between the,
So what's the highest number on the number line? 12. And the lowest number?
Negative.
Negative 12. Right? Always remember that negative, all right? Because otherwise 12 and 12 would be the same. All right? So try the bottom set, set 7. So a lot more numbers, but as long as you keep yourself organized, they're going to be easy enough to find. Now, some of the numbers that we have, so the first number we have is a 5, positive 5, right? And there's a negative 5 in that set also. So think about this. If you were at 5, all right, so go ahead and put your pencil on 5. Okay? And now we're going to add a negative 5. So if we're at 5 and we're going to add negative 5, which direction do we need to go? Towards the 0 or away from it? Towards it, right? Because we're taking away 5, right? So 5, so if you're on 5 and you take away 5, where will you end up at?
Would it just be 5?
Well, it would be 0, right? Because you're at 5 and you're taking away 5, right? So you're going to end up at 0. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move into adding integers, all right? So all you need to do is pay attention. We'll look at, see if it is a positive or a negative number that we're going to be adding, all right? So let's take a look at the first one. Read the first one.
Negative 3. Take away. Add.
Positive 12, right? So negative 3, so put your finger on negative 3. Well, take your number line if you want. So let's dig out your number line. All right, so where's negative 3? Okay, and now we're going to add 12. So you're going to go positive 12.
9.
I have to go negative 3 plus 12 is going to leave us at 9. All right, you ready to try one more?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the next one. So negative 15. Okay, if you're at negative 15, all right, and you're going to add negative 3 more, where do you think you're going to end up at?
Negative 18.
There you go. Now, how did you get negative 18 so fast?
Because I just added the negatives.
Right, you add the negatives, right? If you're down 15 and you go down 3 more, you're going farther down, right? So there we go, a little bit more work with adding integers, comparing them, putting them on a number line, and seeing how they fit all together in set with the students at Mojave Elementary. And once again, we're at Mojave Elementary, home of the Colts, correct? All right, and we have some 4th and 5th grade students working on integers. We've put them in order, right? And we've added some, so now let's multiply and divide some, all right? So here's one thing that you can draw to kind of make things a little bit easier. So draw a triangle for yourselves like that. Okay, and you can put yours, so if you want to, if it's easier, because I'm kind of drawing it upside down, so you guys don't have to draw upside down also, all right? So what I'd like you to do is down at the bottom, put a negative symbol and another one over here. And then up at the top, put an addition symbol. If you get confused when multiplying and dividing numbers, integers, positive and negative numbers, if you draw something like this, it could help you out sometime. All right? So here's an example. What is 2 times 2?
It's 4.
You all know that, right? It's easy enough problem, right? 2 times 2. Now what's negative 2 times 2?
It would be negative 4.
How do you know it's negative 4? So we have negative 2 times 2.
Wait, I think I know because you're doing 2 groups of negative.
Right, you're doing 2 groups of negative, right? So you're correct, it's going to be negative 4, okay? Now sometimes people go, I don't know, is it 4 or is it negative 4? Here's one way that you can check. The first number, negative 2, is a negative, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to go like this. We're going to circle the negative. The next number is 2. Is that positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive, so circle the positive. What's the only symbol left?
A negative.
Is a negative, so we know that the answer is going to be negative 4.
Well, that's easy.
That's easy, huh? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you can do is you don't have to make big triangles, you can just make them small, right? Because you're not always going to want to erase those, right? So make another small triangle, put your symbols in it. It's always 2 negatives at the bottom and a positive at the top. So now watch how this works, all right? What's 3 times 3?
9. I mean 9.
9, right? You do 3 plus 3, right? So 3 times 3 is 9, okay? What is negative 3 times 3?
Negative 9.
Negative 9. You've all got that?
Yeah.
Now try this. What's negative 3 times negative 3?
Negative 9.
No, 9.
Okay, so I've heard negative 9 and I heard positive 9. And I heard some like, I don't know which way I want to go yet. All right? So let's test this out. We have negative 3 times negative 3. Okay? The first number, is it positive or negative?
Negative.
It's negative, so I'm going to circle the negative. The next number, is it positive or negative?
Negative.
So I'm going to circle the negative. What is the only symbol left?
Positive.
Positive, so it's positive 9. All right? Do you guys see how that works? Because when you have a negative times a negative, it's always going to be positive forever and ever. If you divide numbers, it's the same thing. All right? So, choose a number between 2 and 10.
6.
6? All right, so everybody write down 6. Choose another number between 2 and 10.
4.
4. So we have 6 and we have 4. Now, Choose positive or negative.
Negative.
Negative. All right. Young lady, positive or negative?
Positive.
Okay, so we're going to go like this. So we're going to go -6 times +4. Go ahead and do that real quick. -6 times +4. So first of all, think about, don't even worry about the negatives and positives. What's 6 times 4?
6 times 4 is 24.
So we know the answer is going to have a 24 in it, right? Now you have to figure out, is it going to be positive or negative? You don't want to just guess. So is it going to be positive or negative?
Negative.
How do you know it's going to be negative?
Because we have a negative and a positive. And if we do the triangle thing and we circle the negative and positive, it will leave a negative.
There you go. You've only got one negative there, right? So nicely done. Learning a little bit with multiplying and dividing positive and negative numbers with the students at Mojave Elementary. Once again, we're with the 4th and 5th grade students at Mojave Elementary. You guys ready?
Yes.
So we've a lot of work that we've done with positives and negatives, okay? Now we're going to put it into a game form, and we're going to see who can correctly get a bingo first before everybody else. So in each of these boxes, you're going to put a number that is between 20 and -20. You can also put 0. 0 is a number. There are no free spaces on this like there is regular bingo. So you're just going to start putting in numbers. So I'm going to put a 0 there. I'm going to put a 1 there. Maybe I'll put a -3 right there. I'll put 10. You guys see how it goes? You got to put positive and negative numbers in there. But you can't go any higher than 20. And you can't go any lower than -20. Okay? You ready? Go. Fill them in. Any numbers at all that you want. Positives and negatives. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I want you to do is, if I say a problem and you have the answer to it, just mark your paper, like put an X on it or something, all right? Circle it, however you want to do it. When you get 5 in a row, what do you say?
Bingo.
You guys know how to play, right? Here we go. -7 minus 7. Now, if you guys need to, take out your number lines.
Can we do this?
Well, that's when you multiply and divide, right? So right now, if we're at -7 and we're going to subtract 7 more, are we going to get closer to 0 or farther away? Farther away, right? So if you're at -7, go backwards 7 more. So -7 minus 7. And where will that put us? -14. So if you have -14, go ahead and put an X on it or a circle. I'll keep track of which ones I'm calling here. All right, here we go. Next one. 8 minus 6. All right, so we know that it's 2. So see if you have a 2. If you have a 2 on there, go ahead and circle it or mark it. All right, next one. -2, so if you need to on the paper, find -2, plus 10. So if you're at -2 and you're going to add 10, so you're going to get a larger number, right? You're going to go past 0. So you're at -2 and you're going to add 10. Well, you're going to go forward, right? Because you're at -2 and you're going to add 10. So we're going to go in the positive direction. So if you're at -2 and you add 10, where do you end up at?
+8.
Positive 8. Okay? So -2 plus 10 is the same thing as 10 minus 2. So we know it's 8. So go ahead and circle an 8. or exit off if you have it 8. 11, so listen to how I say that. So we are at 11, and we're going to add negative 11. Where will we end up at? 0, right? So if we're at 11 and we're going to add negative 11, it's the same thing as 11, take away 11, right? So 0, if you have 0, go ahead and mark it. All right, negative 4. So go ahead and think about where negative 4 is, or if you need you to use the number line, put your pencil or finger on negative 4. Minus 11. So if you're at negative 4, you're going to take away 11 more. So you're going to move 11 farther away from 0.
That would put us at negative 15.
Negative 15, right? So if you're at 4, negative 4, and you're going to go negative, right? You're going to go to the left. You're going to keep going 11 more. So you end up at negative 15. So if you have negative 15, mark it on your paper. I bet you guys all had positive 15, didn't you? Not negative 15.
I didn't even put 15 down.
You don't have 15 positive or negative? All right, we'll see if we can find one more. All right, 4. So we're going to start at 4. Positive 4. Take away 9. So you're going to go to the left, negative 9. So if once you're at 4, go back 9. So let's see how everybody's doing. So if you're at 4 and you go back negative 9, where do you end up at? Negative 5. So negative 5, go ahead, mark it, circle it, or exit.
I forgot we needed to do 5 in a row.
Oh, you've got 3 in a row, right? That'd be tic-tac-toe if we were doing that, but we need 5 in a row for bingo. So we'll continue playing with the 4th and 5th grade students at Mojave Elementary School.
Do the math!